The first thing I remember was the smell: cheap cologne, warm beer, and that faint trace of someone else's detergent, not mine. My eyelids were heavy, like they'd been glued shut, and for a second I couldn't figure out where I was. The ceiling was too low, the light too bright, and there was a shirt on the floor that definitely wasn't mine. It took me 3 slow breaths before I noticed the movement next to me, the rise and fall of someone else's chest under a blanket that smelled like cigarettes and mint. My heart started to race. I pushed myself up, the sheet sliding off my shoulder, and saw a man's arm stretch lazily toward me before falling back. I froze. For a moment, I couldn't even hear my own thoughts, just the sound of my pulse roaring in my ears. My phone was on the floor face down, buzzing with a vibration that felt too loud for the silence in the room. I grabbed it, ignoring the nausea climbing up my throat, and when I saw the name on the notifications, my stomach dropped even further. Emma, my best friend, 23 missed calls. I didn't remember anything after midnight. The night before was supposed to be a celebration, my breakup party, as Emma called it. You've been crying for 2 months, babe. You need a reset, she'd said, pushing a glittery dress into my hands. I'd laughed then, thinking she was right. I needed to stop mourning someone who'd already moved on. I should have known that Emma's version of healing always involved chaos, shots, secrets, and scenes that ended in regret. The last thing I remembered clearly was the bar, neon lights, music too loud to feel your heartbeat, and Emma shouting something over the crowd while waving her phone in my face. She'd been documenting everything, as usual, saying, "You're going to thank me for this footage when you're over him." I wasn't over him, I was barely overstanding. Now, sitting in a stranger's bed, wearing last night's makeup and someone else's hoodie, I realised the footage she'd recorded might not be something I ever wanted to see. I got dressed quickly, tripping over my heels, trying not to wake the guy beside me. My head throbbed with that sharp post-alcohol ache that feels like regret made physical. When I reached the door, I turned once more, hoping maybe he'd look familiar. He didn't. Outside, the morning was painfully bright. The city looked clean and indifferent, like it had already washed off the night I was still wearing. I called Emma immediately. She answered on the second ring, her voice way too cheerful for the way my stomach felt. "Well, look who's alive," she said. "What the hell happened last night?" "Oh my God," she laughed. "You were insane. I swear I have the best video of you." "Emma, what do you mean video?" There was a pause, then that little giggle she does when she knows she's gone too far. "Relax, it's nothing bad. You were just hilarious. Don't you remember getting on the karaoke table?" "I don't even remember getting home." Another pause. "Yeah, about that." I stopped walking. "About what?" "You didn't come home. You left with someone, some guy." I felt my throat close. "Emma, please tell me you're kidding." She didn't answer directly. Instead, she said, "Don't freak out, okay? You were safe. I checked on you. You looked fine." "You checked on me," I repeated. "What does that mean?" "I might have gone live for a bit," she said quickly. "Just a few minutes. You know how people love your chaotic energy. Everyone was commenting that you finally looked happy again. You streamed me." My voice cracked in the middle. A few people on the sidewalk turned to look. "Emma, tell me you didn't—" "Don't be dramatic," she said, her tone flattening. "It wasn't that deep." "Everyone does it. Not everyone broadcasts their drunk best friend walking off with a stranger." There was silence on the other end. Then, defensively, "You always act like I'm the bad guy for trying to have fun. You're the one who got wasted." I hung up before she could finish. The rest of the day blurred into one long panic attack. Every time my phone buzzed, I flinched. I couldn't bring myself to open social media, but curiosity, or fear, eventually won. When I opened TikTok, my heart sank. My own face filled the screen, laughing, blurry, swaying under flashing lights. The caption read, "When your bestie says she's over her ex, but ends up with a new one instead, haha." It had 27,000 views. The comments were worse than the number, strangers dissecting me like a character in a sitcom. "She moves on fast. Queen behaviour. Messy energy. I love it. Does she even know that guy? Plot twist. That's her ex's friend." I felt my hands shaking. I called Emma again. No answer. Then another call, another voicemail. I left message after message until finally she texted, "You're overreacting. It's just a trend." But it wasn't a trend to me. It was my face, my body, my reputation. And it wasn't just a video. It was a narrative she'd written without my consent. That night, I didn't sleep. My phone became a window I couldn't close. Every time I thought it might die down, another notification popped up. Another repost. Someone had tagged the guy from the video. Apparently his friend recognized him. His username was at Real Evan L. I clicked it. His account was private, but his profile picture matched the face I'd seen half asleep that morning. The caption under his last post read, "Wild Night." I stared at the screen until it blurred. My whole life, or at least the version of me that existed online, had been rewritten in less than 24 hours. The next morning, Emma showed up at my apartment without warning. She was holding 2 coffees, smiling like nothing was wrong. "Before you start yelling, hear me out," she said. I didn't let her in. "You filmed me, Emma. You made a fool out of me in front of thousands of people." "I didn't make you do anything," she snapped. "You did that yourself." "I just recorded it." "That's not friendship," I said. "That's exploitation." She sighed, like she was the one exhausted by my emotions. "You're acting like I posted a sex tape." "It was just a party clip." "But you went live," I said. "People saw me drunk, vulnerable, leaving with someone. That's not harmless." Emma rolled her eyes. "You're so sensitive. Everyone loved it. You should see your engagement stats. If you leaned into it, you could literally go viral." That's when I realized something I hadn't wanted to believe. Emma didn't see me as a friend anymore. She saw me as content. I slammed the door. She shouted through it for a while, alternating between apologies and insults. Eventually she left. I thought that would be the end of it. It wasn't. 2 days later, another video surfaced, one I hadn't seen before. It was darker, filmed through the window of a dim bedroom. The caption read, "She's really living her best life." My heart stopped. It was me, asleep, motionless, in that stranger's bed. And the camera angle was shaky, like whoever filmed it was laughing. My bare shoulder glowed in the faint light. The comments were brutal. "She's not over anyone. Imagine waking up to this. I'd pay for the uncut version." My hands went cold. The account that posted it wasn't Emma's. It was one of her followers, someone who'd screen recorded her live. She'd actually streamed me sleeping. I called her again, voice trembling. "Emma, you filmed me in that bed, didn't you?" She hesitated. Then, "You're being paranoid." "I saw it. It's online. You filmed me without my consent." "It wasn't like that," she yelled. "You looked safe." People were worried, and I wanted them to know you were fine. "You wanted views," I said quietly. The silence that followed was more honest than anything she'd said all year. I went to the police. They said there wasn't much they could do unless the footage was explicit. "Technically, it's public space," the officer said. "She didn't capture nudity." So that was it. I wasn't naked enough for justice. But online, it didn't matter. The damage had already been done. My name was trending on small gossip pages. The guy, Evan, started messaging me, first jokingly, then with increasing aggression. "You owe me for the followers," he wrote once. I blocked him. Weeks passed. I deleted my accounts. My job called me in for a talk about professionalism. Someone had sent the video to my manager anonymously. I knew exactly who it was. One night, Emma posted again, a teary apology video, the kind influencers post when they've been caught. "I made a mistake," she said between sniffs. "I never meant to hurt my friend. I just wanted to share our fun night. I thought she was okay with it. Please don't send hate." The comments were flooded with sympathy for her. "Everyone messes up. You're so brave for apologizing. She's lucky to have a friend who admits it." And there I was, the villain in someone else's redemption arc. I thought I'd seen the worst of it until, a month later, I got a USB drive in the mail. No return address. Inside was a single video file. When I opened it, I saw Emma sitting in her bedroom, talking to someone off camera. Her hair was shorter, recent. Her tone was calm. "She still thinks I posted it," she said, "but it wasn't me. It was him." A man's voice answered, "She'll never know." The camera turned slightly, and there he was, Evan, the stranger from that bed. I felt the blood drain from my face. The recording continued. Emma was saying how she'd gone live earlier that night, but Evan was the one who screen recorded and uploaded everything afterward. They'd met a week before my party. She'd told him she wanted a viral moment, something shocking to boost her reach. "She trusts me," Emma said in the video. "If we make it look wild, people will eat it up." He laughed. "You're evil." She smiled. "No, I'm strategic." I watched the clip again and again, waiting for the disbelief to wear off. It never did. I took the footage to the police again. This time, it mattered. There were messages, evidence of conspiracy. Emma and Evan were both questioned. They denied it, of course, but the recording was clear. Legal battle started. Slow, draining, ugly. The internet moved on long before justice did. Months later, after it was over, I walked past a cafe window and caught my reflection. For a moment, I didn't recognize myself. Not because I'd changed my hair or lost weight, but because I looked like someone who'd finally learned what privacy meant. In a world where everyone's recording, silence becomes rebellion. Emma's accounts were deleted. Evan disappeared offline. I don't know if they stayed in touch, but I don't care. I moved to a new city, new job, new phone number. Sometimes people still message me asking, "Aren't you the girl from that video?" And I just smile and say, "No, I'm the girl who survived it." Because that's what it was, survival. Not of a night, but of a world where friendship comes with a camera attached and betrayal is just one upload away. And every time I see a phone pointed my way, I remember the morning I woke up in that stranger's bed and how the real stranger wasn't him. It was the person I'd trusted to hold the camera, and Crazy Reddit stories, wild twists, and real drama. Subscribe, comment your take, and stay for the next tale.